my scrappy friends, this is Hannah with you, and I am working on a layout, or it's not really a layout, it's an art journal page that I made last summer, so last like August maybe. So last year, Khristina asked me to be a guest designer, and I did show a couple of things that I used with her stuff, and this was her creative cuts. I'm not sure if she's still doing the creative cut part. I know that she has cut files that she has available, so I will make sure I link to her store, because you can get pre-made or pre-cut cut files, which is really fun, right? So this was part of the kit that she was doing, and it had that blue spray that I'm using. Of course, I'm blending it. And that had gesso. That art journal did have gesso on it, and I actually used, I have some really fun Prima brushes that have like the backs of them, or the ends, have like textured things, so you can add texture to your paste, your gesso. So that's why there's those funky lines that now you can start to see. So I'm going from that green, minty green, tealy green, to the blue and the purpley pink, the pinky purple color. And so really what you're seeing is, so I used a reinker up at the top. I blended that in. Then I try to blend it into a little bit of the distress. So that's distress stain, and it's really colorful. I'm trying to remember what that color actually was. Let's see. That color is Blueprint Sketch. So it's a little bit different than the regular distress because it's more of a stain. It's super vibrant. I have no idea where I am. No, that's okay. So and then the bottom was some concentrated watercolors. So I used 2 of my own and then added the spray that she had in her kit. And I am just kind of spraying some sprays on there, putting some ink, then adding some water and drying it, and then kind of doing the same thing over. And you're going to see me do this quite a bit. So I'm sorry if this is a little tedious, but I will say I like to show a lot of this because this is kind of how I like to, I shouldn't say have to, because you don't have to do anything when it comes to art journaling. This is one of the ways that I like to add depth and stuff, is to kind of do it in this layers and let it get a little bit dry, and then add some more color and blot it up a little bit, and then, add some water. And what would have been really fun, and I didn't do this, is use like a little bit of alcohol, and then it disperses some of the color. So it's one of those things that I think this is a really fun way, like an art journal page like this, to really play with different colors and play with different techniques without feeling like you have to just get something perfect. And you just see what they do, you play around, you build the layers, you add more, you take it off, you move it around a little bit, and you really just get to see how this product works, how it works with gesso, how it works with a textured background. So yeah, ultimately I am thinking I want it to look kind of oceany, if that makes sense. So you will kind of see where I go with this, but I really do want that gradation or ombre type effect. I mean, I know it's like 3 colors. They're on that cool, the purple sort of is cool, but I want those colors to kind of go into each other and blend and mix. And this is why I'm adding more water to certain areas. And I had a really hard time. That's just like a water spray bottle that I bought myself, because I used to use some of the pigment colors that what's her name had. She used to do a ton of like color mixed media stuff, and then she stopped doing it, and she does like planner-y stuff. But anyway, yeah, so, and obviously the sprays work a little bit easier than like the concentrated watercolors because or the reinker, because it kind of spreads in one area. It's a little bit thicker. Whoop, I just hit my thing. Sorry. But it really looks fun once you get them like all together. And I am trying to make sure I dry near the spine, because does kind of like to go in there and get all weird. I mean, it's not a big deal if you don't mind that the color is going to seep through, but, you know, and this is a lot of work, and I could have totally stopped somewhere else in this process, but I'm going to just keep trying to add more water, add more ink, and it really is, the more you do this, the different layers of depth of color that you're gonna get, and you know, it's not gonna turn out the same way each time either. And that's the fun part about this. Like I said, this is really just about playing and having fun, and it turning out like super organic. And I think this is where I like to get messy, because this is, I know I'm not trying to accomplish something to have it look a certain way. I might have a look that I'm thinking of. Now, I did add to at some point, and I know this is in here now, I added a little bit of the reinker to the water, just a little tiny bit, so that the water was more of like a turquoise. Well, it's not really turquoise. It's like a minty. It's the cracked pistachio, which is really like mint. And I will say that color, where it looks pretty good, can have like this weird color, like tinge to it when it mixed with the blue. So I'm taking some modeling paste. I'm sure I have something else in there. I probably had like salt to the earth and modeling paste and like some kind of textures in there. So shimmer stuff. But I don't remember. And I might have mixed that with just like plain texture paste too. I do try to do that. So I'm putting this in. I kind of want it to look a little bit like seaweed going up. That was my thought. I'm not really sure if that looks like that, but kind of. You know how the seaweed, it flows around in the ocean. And so that's kind of what I was trying to make it look like it was floating in two different areas. And as it sits there, it's going to kind of collect some of those sprays, because it's not completely dry, but I am going to do more to it. Now, in her kit, in Khristina's kit, she also had this netting, and it's super fun. So here I'm mixing some more of that stuff, and I'm going to put globs of this and use it to adhere it. So yes, so my journal page is kind of stuck open for the most part, guys. I'm afraid to close it, but anyway, so I added, it's still open, I will say, and I added different types of this glitter, the gold glitter. So there's the really fine and then this chunky, and I'm kind of smushing it in just a smidge because I don't want to lose too much, because I know it is glitter. And you know what? It goes everywhere. And so also in the kit, she had some seashells and these like dewdrop things. So, and some other kind of bead. And I'm putting those in there. I kind of want it to look like water drops. Now, so I'm not done. Believe me, guys, we still have a couple more minutes. I'm going to add a little bit more. I think I was wanting that white part to have the stenciling to have a little bit more color in it. So I'm going to add some purples over here and a little bit of that green and kind of see what I can get in. And it's going to go right into those grooves and of the stencil. Oh my gosh. Sorry about my head kind of getting in the way. So I want it to be in certain areas. So that's why I'm like trying to be a little bit careful. I'm also trying not to heat up those textured places too much, because I don't want it to bubble too much, but it does have to be, because I'm adding water, I need to use a little bit of that heat gun. I mean, you could definitely let it set, you know, get it how you want it with the water, let it set, then come back another day. You could totally do that, but I don't have the patience to do that. Like, I think I would get kind of bored if I did just a little teeny tiny bit. Sometimes it's necessary to leave it overnight or something, but yeah, so I'm just adding some more of that stuff, really trying to get in those certain areas so I can get a color that I'm happy with. Because this is the thing with when you're adding these colors, you're adding a little bit, you're seeing what color is turning out, and like, oh, I don't like this, you add something else, or oh, I want more of this color, and you add more of that. And I really wanted those pinky purples to like really be pink and purple, if that makes sense. So they really lightened when you added the water spray to it. And like I said, I think that would have looked really cool if I had a little bit of like rubbing alcohol and added a little bit to that. It might have made more of a resist or something, or even if I had put salt on there. So that's one trick. You could add salt and then you rub the salt away once it dries. But anyway, so I'm almost done with this. There will be pictures of this that you can see, and I'm going to stop talking so you can just finish watching me spray. And thank you guys for joining me, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye.